Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is just a recent finds video, stuff I've picked up in the past week and a half or so. Um, yeah, just and like most cases, a lot of just random stuff. There was some stuff that I knew was going to be released this past week, and I'd actually been saving up a good chunk of my trade, or trade credit that I had, because I knew I wanted to get these new releases that were coming out. I also went to a record show this morning and went there not expecting to pick up a lot of things at all, just kind of looking for a couple of things and actually found them, which was really nice. So, yeah, just kind of, again, some just random stuff. It was kind of interesting though at the record show this morning because, again, even though I didn't really spend much money at all, it was strange in the sense that a good 90% of the vinyl I've picked up over the past 2, 3, 4 months or whatever, most of that has come from a result of the purge that I've been doing. I've been selling and trading in the credit that I've been getting for it. So it was really kind of strange at the record show today, actually just like handing money for records. It was almost like it felt weird to a certain degree. And I was like, holy cow, you're through going to your collection with the purge. You got to kind of get used to actually coughing up cash for records, and which also means I need to get used to maybe not having so much new stuff come in as well. But anyway, this is some of the things that I've again picked up over the past week and a half. And so some of that credit, or a good chunk of that credit I was saving up for, were for these releases, which was the next set of releases for the Iron Maiden. I say for the box set, but just in general releasing of these albums. There were four that were released this last go around, which I think the official day was like 2 or 3 days ago, something like that, maybe 4 days ago. And one of them was Brave New World, and I didn't pick that up because I got the record store day copy. So I think they're both black vinyl, and so I'm just going to use that one as part of my box set copy. But then you had A Matter of Life and Death that came out, which is really cool. Very nice 2 LP set, 180 gram vinyl. And then we also had Rock in Rio. And this one's actually a 3 LP set, but also on black vinyl, which is very nice. And I'm glad they're doing these on black vinyl, not a bunch of picture disc again, so that's really nice. So that's Rock in Rio. And then the last one that I picked up, as far as Iron Maiden goes, is The Dance of Death. And again, nice 2 LP set on black vinyl. So with adding these three to the box set, I really only need one more to complete the set, which is that In Vivo or whatever that live album is, and then I'll have the complete set. So that'll be very exciting. And one of the things that I'm doing with that too, it's just like when the first Iron Maiden box set came out, even though I knew all the albums in that first set, what I decided to do was wait until I completed the entire set. Then I kind of went through and listened to all the albums from start to finish, just to kind of, feel the real time timeline, or, if you will, of Iron Maiden. So I decided I'm going to do the same thing with this set here, which is why I haven't opened up, any of these albums yet. So as soon as I get that last one, I'm just going to start with, I think Prayer for the Dying is the first album in this set, and just go through Fear of the Dark and all the way through to Souls. So I think that'll just be kind of cool and experience it in kind of a different way. So yeah, very, very cool pickup there. So glad those got released. Let's see, what do we have next here? A couple of the things I picked up on with some trade credit, again, at a different store. And one of them was this one here, which was live. And I was so glad too, because I saw that this had been reissued, and I was really wanting to pick up a copy. This is a music on vinyl, and you never know if these things will be around for a while, or if all of a sudden overnight they'll become so hard to find and double in price or whatever. So I debated about buying this one on eBay actually, and I'm so glad that I waited, because when I walked in this record store the other day, it was sitting right there, and it was of course a store I had credit at. So I was like, yes, good decision on waiting and so forth. But live, great album here. A lot of great songs on this, but my favorites that come to mind is Kenny's Juice and Turn My Head's also a really great song. But this is on silver vinyl, 2LP, silver colored vinyl. And I do have an original pressing, which is on white vinyl. Vinyl is perfectly clean, plays mint the whole nine, except it had a cut corner and, you know, a little bit of wear around the edges on the other copy. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get one of the reissues, just to kind of have a nice mint copy. But if there's somebody that's looking for an original pressing, again, a little bit of wear on the cover and so forth, but pretty clean everywhere else, let me know, because I'm going to be getting rid of that one pretty soon. So that was a good one. And this is another one I picked up, really, again, kind of based off of the credit that I had, because this is not one that I typically would, it's a record I would like to have, but I would not have paid, you know, like 18 bucks or whatever this was when I picked it up. You know, but again, since it was credit, I was kind of willing to go with this Dusty Springfield, and this is Dusty in Memphis. You know, and most people, you know, the biggest song they would know off of this album would be Son of a Preacher Man, which is a great song. But, you know, a lot of different great things on here. You know, I definitely like her voice, like her delivery, and from a credit perspective, it was a great album to pick up and get in the collection. So I definitely enjoyed getting that one. This is my first album by this artist, actually. So I'm sure a lot of you probably know her very well. But Lana Del Rey here, Ultraviolence, and again, of course I've heard of her, and I've listened to different clips of other songs from other albums, and people in the VC have talked about her. A lot of people just here on YouTube in general has shown different albums and talked about it and so forth. And again, I listened to a number of her things, and you know, I kind of like some stuff, but nothing that made me want to rush out to get it. But you know, this is definitely one of their albums that I liked a bit more, and again, with, you know, store credit being the determining factor, I thought, hey, let me go ahead and pick it up. It's, you know, good album. I definitely like some stuff on it, but this is actually my first piece by her, so that was a nice pickup. This was a great find, one of those jump for joy kind of finds. The Church. This is Sometime Anywhere. And this was a brand new sealed copy, and I remember when I pulled it out of the stacks, and I thought, you know, wow, number one, it's not necessarily an album that you just find laying around all over the place with really many of the church albums, but especially this one. And it was sealed too, and I thought, you know, yes. And it was only marked at $9. So, you know, I started looking around. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with it? And it's like, there's nothing wrong with it. And I came to discover that it wasn't, you know, a new album that he got in. It was something that came in off a trade, and it just happened to still be sealed. So, I mean, that album for $9 was a fantastic pickup. You know, the Church is just one of those classic 80s alternative bands. Well, my definition of 80s alternative. And I've been really getting into them quite a bit lately. So to find this to add to the collection is absolutely great. So I've had the CD, so I mean, I've listened to the album a number of times over, but it's nice to have it on vinyl. Another one I've been searching for a while. John Denver. This is Back Home Again. Now, a very easy album to find, but oftentimes to find it in perfect mint condition and a cover that's pretty much in perfect condition at a decent price, that was always the challenge. So, you know, I found a ton of them that were, you know, kind of rough and maybe didn't play, well, I refer to as like pretty much CD clean. But there was also a reissue that they did, a 180 gram reissue, which was kind of nice. But those were at $29.99. I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you, John, but I'm not paying 30 bucks. You know? So I ended up stumbling across this one. I think it was marked at $5. So again, to find that in perfect condition was very, very exciting. It's one I've been wanting to get back in my collection for a long time. And you know, you have songs like Back Home Again, Annie's Home, you know, a lot of great stuff. But of course, the big hit that everyone tends to know from John Denver is on this album, which is Thank God I'm a Country Boy, which is probably my favorite John Denver song, actually. Love that song. So that was a great pickup. This one here was probably my find of the week by far. You know, well, I won't even say that, but yeah, definitely my find of the week, because I have been searching for a great near mint copy of this for I don't know how long now. Especially for the Black Sabbath box set that I was putting together, and I finally got a great copy of Black Sabbath Mob Rules, a mint copy, which was fantastic. And you know, these pop up all over the place. You know, you'll find them a lot of different places, but finding one that's in perfect condition, you know, no wear or anything whatsoever, just a mirror clean vinyl, that had always kind of been my challenge. And I had not had luck with buying these online, like through eBay, because I've had two others in the past, and they didn't play as clean as I thought they would in the whole nine. So I was reluctant to actually go online and purchase one. So when I went to the record show today, this was one of the really the only albums I was just hoping, if I just stumble across that album, that would be absolutely great. And towards one of the last tables that I went to, I started flipping through, and this pops up. And I was like, you know, yes. And I saw the cover look clean. I was like, I just hope the vinyl is. I hope the vinyl's clean. And what I usually do sometimes at record shows is I'll just go through and pull all stuff that I may want or want to look at. Then I'll step to the side, so I'm not, you know, standing there hogging up someone else that might want to dig, because you know we're all like, blah blah blah. So I pull this out and set it to the side, and I'm like, okay, I'll look at it here in a moment. And I'm flipping, and another one pops up at this. I'm like, no way. It's like, you know, two what looks like on the surface pretty good copies. And sure enough, when I took them off to the side and looked at them, they both were fairly clean. But I noticed the other one did have a little bit of wear on one of the corners of the cover, and I was like, okay, so this is the winner. So yeah, to pull that up, and actually, I mean, I just kind of say on this one, you know, he went all the way down to $15 for it, which I was like, you know, dude, done, and done. So I was so happy to pick this up. Like I said, I've been searching for this for I don't know how long now. So great one there. I also picked up this, which is Black Sabbath Volume 1. This was a reissue from did this come out I think in 71 originally or something like that? But this is that 180 gram reissue that came out a few years ago, and no longer in print too, so this is not, you know, one of the easiest ones to find. But this is also a great pickup. Again, thinking about adding it to my Black Sabbath box set and really trying to complete that collection there as well. So you get an idea about the track list there, in case you're not familiar with this album. So that was a great pickup. And let's see. Let's go to these two next, actually. Now, this is the second album that I was looking for or hoping to find going into the show. Again, another one that you see all over the place, but to find one in really, really good condition is definitely a challenge. And it is Chicago Transit Authority. And that's actually on the... I need to change these covers out. That's on the cover, not the LP. I don't know how that sticker got on the sleeve. I put it in the sleeve after the video, but anyway. So, yeah, again, this is, I think, Chicago's debut album. 2 LP set. Again, you can find these all over the place, but to find one that does not have just like crazy ring wear and all kind of, you know, like white spots all over it and the whole nine, that is the challenge of this album right here. You know, a little bit of something here and there you can kind of see right there on the edge, and it's not a split or anything, but it's kind of a little bit of wear and a tad bit coming through there. But when I saw that cover, I was just like, I have not seen one that clean, you know, a used copy since I don't know when. So it was kind of interesting too, because when I saw that pop up and I saw the cover, I pulled it up and said, you know, that's pretty darn solid. And I looked at the records, and the LPs inside was like, oh, there's some marks on them and blah blah blah. But he had them in a box, and he had it actually marked down to $3 in this box. I was like, you know what? I said, that cover is worth getting for $3, and you know, I'll match up pressings, and I'm sure somewhere along the way I could easily find records that'll go with the same pressing of that cover. And as I'm digging through his stack, another one pops up. So I'm like, holy cow. And I pull it up. It's the same pressing, the whole nine, and the LPs inside of that one were mint. And the pressing was kind of, or the cover was kind of blah. So sure enough, I picked up both of them, $6, mixed, got rid of the rest, and I finally got a decent copy of this in my collection. $6, which is really, really nice. There was a reissue that came out, I don't know how many years ago it was, or actually who did it. I don't know if it wasn't simply vinyl. It was, I don't remember, but it's a brand new pressing that came out, but it's like $40. And again, it's like, I don't, can't do it. So that was another very exciting find. And that and the Mob Rules, I walked away. Just with that, I would have walked away very happy. Now, these next ones here are some replacements of some other records that I purged. So I finally got a nice mint copy of Van Halen 5150. So I get to put that back in my collection, which is nice. Everyone, I'm sure, knows that album inside and out. Another very good replacement, Little River Band's Greatest Hits. Found a great copy of that. Now, granted, there's a tad bit of ring wear right there, but, again, it's a great album. It's one that I wanted. Vinyl's mint, and I picked it up for only $2. I was like, heck yeah. If I stumble across a perfect mint cover that doesn't have that little bit of wear, fine, but, I'll definitely take that. And one of the other things, too, that I've noticed with kind of my digging habits is, since I've cleaned up my collection, my digging habits have definitely changed a lot, where I have very little expectation going into a record store or someplace or browsing that I'm actually going to find a bunch of stuff that I really, really want, just because I'm kind of expecting most stuff is going to be, it's going to have some wear to it, it's going to be marks on the vinyl or blah, 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 and I'm trying to look to get as much stuff as being close to perfect as possible. So I haven't given as much attention to dollar bins and things of that nature. So that was one thing that I've done over the past week, is just to kind of say, well, just dig through them and see what you may find and that type of thing. And it turned out to be kind of a good lesson, because there were a couple of neat things that I picked up. This Robbie Dupree, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not. Unless you're a 70s soft rock kind of fan, you probably aren't. I think his big hit was a Steal Away. That was kind of, if you hear that song, that'll be one where you'll go, oh yeah, I've heard that in this cheesy 80s commercial and blah, blah, blah. But this is one that I wanted to pick up for quite some time, and, just hadn't found one. And sure enough, found it in a little cheap bin, and it was actually a sealed copy, perfect condition. So, that was kind of a quick lesson to me of like, hey, just because you're looking for stuff in perfect condition, don't just start avoiding the dollar bins, because I wouldn't have found a sealed copy of that. And another one too, because this is one that I purged when I was going through my process, and this is Eddie Money. So that was another very good find. And the thing that was kind of cool about this, Playing for Keeps is the title of the album. Not only is it in, fantastic condition, but then I also noticed once I pulled it out, it's a gold stamp promo, but then it's also a white label Columbia pressing. So it's a white label promo too. So again, I'm glad that I paid attention to that dollar bin, because I would have passed up a very, very nice white label promo of something I needed to get a nice replacement of anyway. So that was a good lesson for me. But anyway, so those are the new pickups. Those are the new finds. And I haven't forgotten, there's a couple people that have requested a couple different videos. I'm actually trying to figure out what I'm going to pull to kind of do the videos. There was one that somebody asked me about my punk collection a couple times. And then there was also a request about some of my jazz. And so I would definitely get around to both those videos. But as always, VC, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys.